my shit. See the flick on my wrist, and I know she know it's up, baby. This is my shit, my shit. See the flick on my wrist, my wrist.
I'm in the street. All I know is that first you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Yo, welcome black to In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. This is Friday, December 16th, 2016. Today's topic we're going to be touching on is Kanye West, Ray Lewis. Oh, I got to change the title. I'll put Ray Rice. I met Jim Brown. Meeting with Donald Trump. Is it Cooning or chess play? We're going to see on other topics, me and my co-host Smoke. The guest calling number 646-716-4654. I want to apologize to listening audience for last week's Saturday's no show. I meant for there to be a show, but Saturday morning my son poked me in my eye and cut my cornea. It was an accident, my 1-year-old, right before he turned 2 that Sunday. So I couldn't even see. So that's why there was no show Saturday, in which we would have spoke on more on the alt-right movement, which we'll have another show dealing on that, because I want to make sure I gather up all of my information on that. But again, the calling number 646-716-4654. Kanye West, Ray Lewis, Jim Brown. That's the type in the title. Meeting with Donald Trump. Is that Conan or chess play? Before we continue, let me go ahead and bring in my co-host, Smoke. Smoke, are you there?
Yes, sir. What's good with
you? Yeah, what's going on, Smoke?
Big Friday. You know what I'm saying? Just relaxing, waiting to get on the radio, see what's popping. You know what I'm saying? Discuss these little topics. You know what I mean? Just
I'm assuming you got I'm assuming you got a lot of shit to talk about with so much activity coming out of South Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we got some stories up here today. You know, we ready to go.
Yeah, man. So, what would you like to tackle on right now?
The topic. Well, I mean, you mentioned what's going on in South Carolina, so you know what I mean. The big hot topic or whatever is, the Dylan Roof situation. He got found guilty of his crimes of his domestic terrorism. You know what I mean, on our people. You know what I mean, of the shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, you know what I mean? So, for me, it's like, I want to see the death penalty for that cat, man. I don't want to see no sentence, man. I don't want to see 25 to life. I don't want to see that, you know what I'm saying? I want to see them
basically, you don't want to see is going to be the outcome of the case.
Death is the only thing really acceptable in this situation for me, you know what I'm saying, in the sense that, that was domestic terrorism. Because if you think of it like in the reverse, in the sense of like, if that was a Muslim running up in the same church, in the name of Allah, kills whatever, you know what I'm saying, they'd be ready to hang this nigga publicly or something, so for me, I want to see, like, what's the outcome of it. Of course, we got time before you actually get, the actual sentence or whatever. But You know, for me, I just want to see death. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a good feeling that, you know, he got guilty. You know, we've been seeing the mistrial, you know, last week, and you know, all type of injustices. You know, just speaking on this last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see that he got guilty, but you know, they got to take the next step and just fry his ass up or whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? Take him off the earth. That would be the punishment for him. You know what I'm saying? The highest punishment.
The ultimate punishment.
Yeah. So you know, fuck Dylan Roof. Burn his ass up. You know what I'm saying? Burn his ass up.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we'll go ahead and
And then they mentioned how, you know, his little punk ass was laughing in in his interrogation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was weird that they, you know, mentioned that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you mentioned that, so now you definitely got to just fry his ass up, you know what I'm saying? He took too many lives off this earth for him to, you know, be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Where he going to be under protective custody. Nah. Fry his ass up, get him out of here, man. So, yeah, man. That's just really my thoughts on that, you know.
Nah, I feel you. Because at the end of the day, she one of their soldiers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the way I look at it, that's the way I gotta look at it. You know what I'm saying? You can't share and celebrate when one of ours take theirs, and then be in shock and disbelief when one of theirs take ours. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it as, you know what I'm saying, tit for tat, eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying? Tooth for a tooth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we in the middle of a fucking war, and I think that's the thing when it comes to black people that really trips me out is that we say we get it, but we don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
We say we get it, but we don't get it. And I know we don't get it because we sit around in the shit we get shocked about. You see what I'm saying? But I totally agree. You know what I'm saying? Get that nigga the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? And just say, fuck it. The end.
Yeah,
that's really what try to be afraid of. That death penalty.
Yeah, we got it in the state, so you know what I mean. There's definitely an option there. Like I said, I don't really see no other option, but you know we're gonna see how it plays out. You know, pretty much. We can never.
But you know why you got to give him a death penalty? I'm gonna tell you why you got to give him the death penalty. You got to give him the death penalty because they would fry him if he was black and killed 9 white people in the church. And black people would say he deserved the death penalty for that. You see what I'm saying? So when it's a white person, what happened is they like to talk like, well, life in prison is the same too, and you know, taking his life ain't gonna bring their lives back. Then we start to get hustled.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
His ass is being a white supremacist group in jail, thriving. He just in jail. No, hell no. Take his ass out of here. For real.
They're getting love like cop killers in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here, man. So we'll leave that shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Fuck Dylan Roof. You know what I'm saying? Death to that cracker. And, from there. So let's move on from there. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the Dylan. Oh, okay. So that's the Dylan Roof, right? So we already scratched out that topic. But I also wanted to talk about that whole gay clothing designer that you had that email about.
Oh, yeah. Remember before when we was talking about the Robbins jeans, you know what I'm saying, and how you know that designer, I forget his name, Robbins or whatever. But you know he designed Robbins jeans for gay men. we spoke about that maybe a month or two ago or whatever. But it just got me. Why? I thought about that. I thought that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. I remember looking up Robin's jeans. If they was something. If it was something that was something that I liked, I possibly would have bought some. They were expensive, so it wasn't like it was in my budget anyway. But you know what I'm saying? I looked at them. You know what I mean? But you find out that it's like, damn, that's crazy. So, I'm listening to, I want to say a Doggy Diamond's interview. So he's talking about, he mentioned Tom Ford in it. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, I can't. You do hear something like crazy and you're like, nah, it's crazy, man. So, I'm like, I'm going to Google the shit. So he basically was saying, Doggy Diamond, he was basically saying how Tom Ford thinks, that Tom Ford said that every man should be penetrated. So I was like, damn, I didn't even know Tom Ford was gay, but I didn't ever research him. I just know about his clothes. We know the Jay-Z song. We know the Tom Ford mentioning with Drake and different other people. Mentioned Tom Ford, Rick Ross, and so I gotta look this up.
Nah, the whole Drake shit is the nigga put Drake in his makeup line. His men's makeup line. So Drake had his own lipstick by Tom Ford. Yeah. That was the whole shit.
That's crazy.
Nigga, wait, not to cut you off, yo, but I'm looking at the Robin Jeans website, and I'm looking at, nigga, I mean, yo, if you, as a quote, unquote, straight, I'm not going to say man, male, and you looking at this shit, there's no way in hell you will wear this and feel heterosexual. Like, this shit looks boxy as shit. And this is the men's section. This is men.
Right. Yeah, I felt the same way when I saw that shit. I was like, this shit ain't fly, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, whatever, my G. Robbins could keep his
it's like you really want to not be, like you really want to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to be one of them, I want to be different type people. Yo, straight up to wear this shit, man, and man, you'll get beat up in the hood back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Now, shit, I guess niggas.
I call them cool man jeans. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? You seeing the old white dudes who be trying to get their swag back and shit, like they be wearing them jeans and shit. Like, when I saw the site, I was like, yo, these shits ain't even fly. Niggas be, her rappers big that shit up, and I'm like, check it out. I'm like, that shit ain't even. That shit not even worth the $250 or however much jeans or whatever.
Yo, you next to a computer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You next to a computer? Yo, type in the show moto shorts. I guess you can put in white. But these are one of them. You got some shit called the show moto shorts. Or maybe it's just called the show shorts. Maybe it's just called the show shorts and that's moto shorts.
Like some Capri's looking shit. A Robin jeans.
Yeah. Like, I don't. How could you be a straight man, right? Be looking and you like, yeah, let me go get me some Robin jeans. And you scrolling through this shit and you coming across shit like that and you not like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the ball man, they kind of like that with the little stripes shit across the patterns across the pants. Yeah, them shit look goofy, man. Yeah, you go.
Man, look, you don't even know what the hell is higher than. It could be a situation where they love a bust on the wall and they like, oh, I'm going to make that a pattern on my pants. And now you walking around with a cum stain pants, thinking that that's a fucking pattern. You know what I'm saying? That's about the fucking gate. Hey, fuck out of here.
So, just to hop in to what we were saying, we talking about Tom Ford. So, Tom Ford is saying Tom Ford thinks all men should be penetrated once. And the kicker is they should be penetrated once to understand women. So he goes in the old interview. So this is like a 2004 interview that they pulling this from. But the article that's referencing this quote he was saying is, it's a current article in 2006, the Huffington Post. And it's saying in the 2004 interview with GQ, the award-winning American designer said every man should be fucked at some point in his life. And he still stands behind that comment more than 10 years later. So I guess they're asking him about it like he's revisiting something he said, over 10 years ago. So he goes on to say, I think it would help them understand women. It's such a vulnerable position to be in, and it's such a passive position to be in. And there's such an invasion in a way that even if it's consensual, it's just very personal. This shit is crazy, yo.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
This is who dressing you. You see what I'm saying? This is who dressing you. This is who putting designs on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas got to open their eyes and really see what
niggas is bigging this. Niggas is bigging this up. You know what I'm saying? Tom Ford, a song called Tom Ford. People talking about the Tuscan leather cologne. I think that's Tom Ford, if I ain't mistaken. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of references to this. Robin's jeans also. Pretty sure there's other ones that we haven't, stumbled across or whatever. But it goes back into like economy building, because you think of it as like, why are we spending money with motherfuckers who promote this thought process? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would we?
And that's the number one thing to say. But see, that's the number one thing to say is the ones that promote that thought process, because niggas been wearing gay niggas' clothes. The niggas that do cross colors, them niggas gay as shit. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't say, I'm going to dress the hip-hop community gay. No, these is people that was influenced by what we was doing and wanted to make clothes, you know what I'm saying, to them for our shit. What's happening now is we is fascinated by homosexuality. Black male is influenced by white homosexual men. That's the shit we have to figure out. What the hell is that about? I've never heard so many men talk about fashion since after that 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one shit about a nigga getting fresh, you know what I'm saying, and being fly. But then you start to hear people literally say, I'm into fashion, but I don't mean getting fly no more. Now I'm talking about being part of that world. You see what I'm saying? So now you got these people now skinning and grinning and smiling up in all these gay people's faces. So now you got niggas with dreads, with red dreads and blonde dreads, and males. You know what I'm saying? With makeup on and with wearing lipstick and all kind of shit like that. And then niggas are talking about, fashion. I'm being an individual. I'm trying to stand out from the crowd. And it's like, what the hell is really going on? You see what I'm saying? So now these dudes now can say, hey, listen, I'll cut you a check if you wear these pants now, where I'm going to be pushing my agenda through the clothes to get to the youth. So they can hear that Tom Ford. Yeah, Jaden Smith is a perfect example of that. And to hear that Tom Ford shit and get influenced by that shit. and feel like, oh, you know what? That's deep, though. You know what I'm saying? Because while they popping perks and sipping weed. You know what I'm saying?
I don't pop Molly, I rock Tom Ford.
Nah, dude, come on, man.
Oh, man.
I thought you were
Yeah, but see, like,
on,
it's really like a bigger point because it's like, you know, if we put shit in perspective, niggas don't want to wear no bati shit. A lot of cats don't even know that shit. So it's just like we spending the money on it.
Right.
But it's like it goes to a bigger point that it's like, okay, we into fashion. We into jeans, the Robin's jeans, Tom Ford shades, and all of that. We into that shit. We into getting fly and shit like that. So that's a market for us. Because if you look at who's supplying us, these is a bunch of, we've got two examples of Baki boys. I'm pretty sure if we take the shovel and start digging deeper, you're going to find more. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find these crazy quotes. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find where it's blatantly like, where it's like, look, you're going to fit into what we doing instead of we catering to what, you know, the black culture or whatever. You got to fit into the European culture. So it's like, why do that? We could start creating those jeans, start creating those shirts. We know what it is. We make the shit fly. So it's
know what it is,
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like fashion is fashion. You know, I understand, like, you know, certain things, certain cuts, and, you know, now it's like slimmer jeans, and I get all of that, but why we can't make that? You know what I'm saying? So that's really
but it's not even that. Fashion ain't just fashion. Fashion could be white fashion, and fashion could be black fashion.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Straight up.
You're right.
Leave them to their demise.
You're right on
and
that.
let's build our own shit. And you know what's funny about that too, Smoke? We've always been known for that. We've always been known. You used to hear us brag about that. Yo, they get their style from us.
Yeah, you're right.
Now
about
we get our style.
You could scratch that one off the fucking record. But like, a funny thing was like I was talking with Brock, you know, a few months back or whatever. We were just building shit for a quick minute, and we was just talking about the opportunities of making clothes and having shit like that. And we were just speaking on how, like, you know, our people, we want to be fresh, but we also want to be exclusive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we could have these things where we're making in our market where it's like, oh, we get these shirts from them cats in South Carolina, them cats in, well, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's opportunity to make money because we like to buy clothes. We like to look good. So we just got to start to supply that. You know what I mean? Because we got brilliant minds out here. But this is what we spending our money on. So you see two designers that we already done came across, you know what I'm saying, that what we need to spend money with them cats for. We can spend money over here and go to the bigger point that we've been talking about pretty much the latter part of this whole year, you know what I mean, is like, you know, building an economy. That's an opportunity right there. Because it's easier to get people off of that. It's like, look what this guy's talking about. This is what he's saying now. You know what I mean? You're going to put that energy on your ass. You're going to buy some of his jeans, you know what I'm saying? Put it on your ass. You're going to put that across your chest, you know what I'm saying? You're going to put that on your nuts, buy his drawers or something, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's corny. You know what I mean?
You know what I do too? What that also do is let you know who's Bati and who not Bati.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
You see what I'm saying? Let them be them. You see what I'm saying? So when you chilling with your homie and your homie insists on wearing Robin jeans still, even after the fact, then you understand why you never see that nigga with a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Instead of you guys, men,
crazy.
males and shit running around fronting and shit like they like women and shit, and they wearing dresses and all kind of shit, or they wearing pink and lipsticks, and you're like, my nigga, I don't know how to come at you, but you gay? Hell no,
yeah,
nigga.
Like you know, back in the day, the gay designers and the women, they was making shit for women. You know what I'm saying? That's what we knew about it. Like, oh yeah, it was alright for a woman to, you know, put on a Versace or whoever, any of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really now it's like we taking over the role of women and shit. Like we're into all of those designers and shit. Where it's like, come on, man. we could make our own little fly
Yeah.
shit that we fucks with and make money. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the big issue. But it's like, yo, if you got Tom Ford, if you about to go put that Tom Ford spread, yo, I got a Tom Ford oil, son. Well, I have to throw that shit in the trash. I don't want no Tom Ford energy oil and shit. Like, come on, man. Like, I just saw that. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, yeah, man. Super pause on Tom Ford, man. Yeah, man. We gotta find those opportunities to make money, man.
4654. Guest calling number 646-716-4654. Kanye West, Ray Lewis. It's supposed to be Jim Brown. Meeting with Donald Trump, Cooning or chess play. Yeah, I put Ray Rice. Like, you know, my son scratched my cornea. Yeah. And I gotta fix it. Yeah. And that was a little typo. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's something, but that is a market now, you know what I'm saying? And a lane for us now to create our own clothes back against by us. You know what I'm saying? That way we don't got to wear these people clothes and things of this nature, cause
yeah, make some fly shit, man.
You see what they pushing, yeah. Like you see what they pushing. Like, come on, man. This shit is like niggas is slick. You fucking around and look at your belt buckles, and your belt buckles got penises all over it. You know what I'm saying? And you like, yo, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So now we're gonna do this now. I'm gonna bring up this story here, dealing with China and shit. And I want to bring this up because I want to talk about how the economy work, economics work, and why we keep on laying in the cut, not understanding how this game works, basically, right? So check this out. They say it's not just the Chinese fat cats that are driving up New York City real estate prices anymore. Now, thanks to a network of global, I'm going to repeat that. Now, thanks to a network of global crowdfunding platforms, regular middle-class households in China are getting in on the gold rush. As the Chinese yuan continues to weaken against the dollar, it has dropped nearly 7% against the dollar in the last year. Households in China are itching to switch their savings from Chinese yuan to dollars. Government rules make that tricky, preventing them from changing more than 50,000 a year. A handful of crowdfunding financial sites raising money for U.S. real estate loans are offering middle-class Chinese households a way to shift their savings into dollars. Invest via the platform and get paid back in dollars. Easy access to American real estate. Earn American dollar profits without lifting a finger, read one ad in Chinese. Before I continue, all my people from Brooklyn, all my scammers, all my hustlers, all my tech-savvy individuals, I'm going to read this again. These Chinese are going to global crowdfunding sites to raise up money. They have sites, right? Crowdfunding financial sites raising money for U.S. real estate loans. And they're offering middle-class Chinese households a way to shift their savings, their yuan, into dollars. To invest via the platform and get paid back in dollars. Easy access to American real estate. Earn American dollars, profit without lifting a finger. That reads one ad in Chinese. So basically what I'm trying to say to my people out there who live that cruddy life. instead of y'all knocking over the old lady and grabbing a bag or kicking in the door and grabbing your neighbor's TV, y'all could be creating crowdfunding sites and fake sites in Chinese letters, hustling these middle-class Chinese households so they could be sending you bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, yo.
Yo, my nigga, you crazy.
You know? Straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Because what's happening is we got these Chinese now knowing that there's Chinese in mainland China who's doing this. So they're helping with that transition. They're being that plug from America to the to China. So that's how they're able to do this. So guess what? What's the requirement? The requirement is you got to have the stuff in Chinese, in Mandarin. Write up a damn website, flip the damn dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, study this shit, figure that shit out, come up with a plan. Get paper, straight up. And I'm going to tell you something about me. Every hustle I ever did, every hustle I was ever involved in, all of them joints I did before everybody else did them. Then by the time everybody else started doing it, I was already out on to the next one. So this is a situation right here where you might be able to eat off of that for a good 3-4 years before the news come out saying they're hustling y'all. You see what I'm saying? So think about that, my people. So they go, that bundle of investment for middle-class Chinese savers might end up in, say, a detached villa in New Jersey, Illinois Athletic Center, a Tennessee apartment complex. Links are all in Chinese, right? It's a links in Chinese. Or it may end up in the tree-lined street of Brooklyn. Gentrification. One 36-year-old New Yorker told the New York Times that he is borrowing nearly $1.3 million to buy a 3-story brownstone in Bed-Stuy, a rapidly gentrifying Brooklyn neighborhood where prices have soared in the last few years. His loan came from a bundle saving of middle-income Chinese people investing via the app Haitou 360. It's spelled HAITOU 360. It's a New York-based investment service which were then reinvested by way of an American crown. All right, so the app is a New York-based investment service which were then reinvested by way of an American crowdfunding property finance platform such as Realty Mogul or Patch of Land. So those are two property finance platforms called Realty Mogul or Patch of Land. While it's unclear how much money has been invested this way so far, one fund has raised money for small-time Chinese investors to help finance high-end student apartments near universities in North Carolina, booming black state, Georgia, used to be booming black state, as well as one near the Harvard Business School, reports the Times. Patch of Land says it has originated some $194 million in loans since January 2014, the majority to single-family projects. China-based investors can expect to earn returns of 7% to 10%, dependent on the duration of the investment, plus a 1.2% gain from dollar appreciation, according to the Hyoto 360 site. The link is in Chinese. But regardless of the immediate profit, the chance to sidestep Chinese regulations to swap yen for dollar is likely just as compelling. So then it goes on and on and on into how the Chinese is really trying to flip their money and all kind of shit like that. But the whole point of that is to let you see that this is how economics work. So here's the last 3 paragraphs of the story. The PBOC goal was eventually to keep the yuan stable enough for the IMF to welcome it into the SDR basket of global reserve currencies, which it did in late November of 2015. And I remember when the Chinese kept bitching and was trying to get in there. After having cleared the symbolic hurdles, the PBOC has let the yuan weaken around 8% against the dollar. The problem is this cycle can easily whip itself into a dangerous self-reinforcing spin. When investors fear a currency will keep dropping in value, they swap it for another, driving down its value further and encouraging even more investors to follow. By cracking down on the way people can swap yuan for the dollar, the Chinese government has so far succeeded in preventing this cycle from reeling into financial disaster. But as long as the yuan keeps sliding, Chinese savers will be looking for ways to funnel their monies overseas to be it to Tennessee or to Brooklyn. So I wanted to, bring that story up because I want to show when you're sitting over. Yeah, because see, when you're sitting over there eating all this Chinese food and getting your weave and your nails and your hair done, you can't look at these people thinking, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, they ain't making no real money over there. No, they're not consumers. They're part of the economy. So even with the guys that they're investing with, the investors, they're getting 7%, 10% return. You know what I'm saying? That's some good-ass return.
Win-win for everybody.
And then on top, a win-win for everybody. But like I said, it would be a nice win if you know what I'm saying, how to make a system,
Yeah, because I mean, like, when you say that, it's like, the 2 things I think of, like, the first thing I thought of was, like, how forward-thinking they are in terms of, knowing that that their money is falling, and to have the thought process to move that shit to the U.S. market. You know what I'm saying? To save the value of their money, save their fortunes, or whatever it is they have, middle class families. So it's like that's forward thinking that we definitely lack that. You know what I'm saying? And secondly, crowdfunding, that's been the thing for the last 5-6 years or more. That's the gold thing. That's the thing to do. So it's like we could be doing the same thing, because the first thing I thought of, or the second thing I thought of, was properties, like how cheap properties are. So we could be crowdfunding and acquiring properties. I might not have enough, but I could put my percentage in and get my percentage of ownership. These places, you automatically think of Detroit, how the city is going down. So you going in there, you gotta presume that property values is down. So that means at some point those property values are gonna go back up with development and money coming in. We got a new president. He might be looking towards that. Let's rebuild Detroit. We want to make America great again. That's when Detroit was popping with all of the fucking with the car industry. So it's like we could be here and really putting our money to good use instead of buying fucking Tom Ford and Robin jeans and shit like that. We could be putting our $200,000-$300,000 together to acquire properties and shit like that and be making flips. We could probably do that under this presidency. Straight up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's crazy, man. It's crazy that they had a thought process to do that. The investors in China, and they making money off of our market. They coming in, and then they're going to charge us to live in them buildings, especially in Brooklyn. We know how Brooklyn go and Brooklyn rent. That's crazy, man. Motherfuckers using their resources. We gotta use our resources and shit. That's some real shit right there.
Yeah, but see, the whole thing about the resources is this. We ain't got no damn resources. That's the problem. We keep thinking, like I be reading on Facebook and I be seeing people talking about, oh, we got $1.1 trillion, and if we put that money together, if we put $1.1 trillion together, if all black people said we're gonna pull all our funds and get this $1.1 trillion and do something with it, that means what you're saying is nobody pay rent or mortgage for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? Nobody eat for a whole year. Nobody buy. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of the expenses that you're spending this money on that they're counting, you now cannot do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not generating $1.1 trillion. You see what I'm saying? We're not generating that money and we're fucking it over. No, they're telling you how much we spent. That's it. How much we spent. Okay, guess what? When I hear people say, oh, we make $1.1 trillion if we just put that money together, I'd be like, yo, you make $50,000 a year, right? You make $50,000 a year. Put $25,000 up at the end of that year. So how can you tell me about $1.1 trillion when you can't put 50% of what you make a year? You can't put that $25,000 up. So if you can't put $25,000 up out of your $50,000 out the year, then how can you then turn around and say, well, all black people should do this and we can put one? You can't do that with the little bit of bread you bringing home.
Yeah, everybody
but
can't.
You want to count
everybody ain't going to be in play. Everybody's not going to be in play for certain shit.
But no,
you know
but peep it. It's not about everybody being in play. You're not generating this money. You dig what I'm saying? When you told me what you do for a year, then none of that matters. If you're telling me I generate $50,000 a month, a week, whatever, then I can see you telling me what you could do with money. But if you work and at the end of the year you get $50,000 at the end of that year, you don't have no money. You're working for somebody. You don't have no money. Talk to me when we're generating this bread. That's like right now if you win the lottery and you won $1.2 million, and now you like, I'm a millionaire. If you're generating $1.2 million, shut the fuck up. You are not no millionaire. You just got cash. That money ain't gonna do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're not generating that money, and that's what we gotta understand. If you're not generating this shit, then it ain't nothing.
No,
we don't
right
have an
about
economy.
That. You're right.
Yeah.
I think the bigger issue is like thinking so big. Like we worry about $1 billion spending, and we, like you say, you can't generate $10,000. You know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta do the small shit first. So it's like the caller we had, I can't recall his name or whatever, but he was saying how you got to get to $10,000, and then once you get to $10,000, you can move on to $100,000. So it's like we got to think small, right. Small first, accumulate a little something, and then we can make moves bigger. Like you can't work like I can't talk about 100,000 and I only got 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes we look at the I can't think of the word right now, but we have this like picture of perfection. So it's like we looking too big of a scale. It's like we gotta look at the small things first. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing sports. If you don't got your fundamentals down, you're not gonna play well. You know what I'm saying? Get the fundamentals down, and then we can start talking about pooling money together and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yo,
it's just interesting how these Chinese is just way ahead, you know, people just ahead of us, you know what I mean?
Watch this. I was watching Brother Rich channel, right? And he got a studio now. You know what I'm saying? Ironically, down the block from Thomas S. Bowling. Yeah. So he got it out there in the stars somewhere.
Oh, it's in the hood. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the hood. Yeah, because I heard Red Pill say, and saying that his man down the block got something on Thomas S. Bowling. And I was like, oh, okay, that's the area. All right. So, the point I'm about to bring is this. So now, Brother Rich got his studio, right? Now, we don't watch this man do it from Blog Talk Radio, he says, to the YouTube. Now he got the studio. And then from there, he said he working on getting the cameras, the high-def 4D camera joints or whatever for the better, you know what I'm saying, capturings or whatever. So it's stepping this shit up. Next 5 years, I'll be interested to see where that brother's at. Meanwhile, you got another brother, Umar Johnson, still walking around asking people to donate and to invest in his dream.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just training to what you were saying, because you got one brother now starting from the bottom up.
Right,
and
that's a good
that
point.
Foundation.
That's a good
building
point.
the structure, putting the walls up to get his shit. In 5 years from now, we're going to see where Brother Rich is at. But Umar now, 5 years later, you done said you accumulate 200 and something thousand, 300 and something thousand or whatever. You ain't telling me you can't go to Mississippi, the poorest fucking state in the United States, but the heaviest populated black area in the United States, and you can't go over there and get some cheap building and educate these people here? No, he wants some grandioso.
Do that
That's
shit
what he wants. He wants to shine.
You could do that online.
You know, look.
Yeah, university.
No, I'm just saying if you want to do that.
No, but I feel you. I ain't trying to take away.
No, but I'm just saying.
I see you.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you want to do that, you could go to Mississippi.
Nah, that's real.
Mississippi is 90-something% black. It's the poorest state in the United States. So that means you can get money and get property out there and shit, and you could build, and you could be on some Dr. York shit. You see what I'm saying? And you can have this big old dream shit you want, but you don't really want that. You just want to sell people the idea and have everybody investing in the idea. There's people that don't even realize how long ago Umar been talking about this school. How long ago? How we're going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Next thing you know, it's going to be 15 years and people are going to be still talking about a school. Like, come on. So it just shows me something because, again, you look at Brother Rich. You watch this man from the Blog Talk Radios to outside in the street filming to now getting his studio. So we're watching this man's progress as he's building up into what he's doing. We're seeing that's showing improvement. And then we're looking at Umar. And as we see Umar keep doing his begging stuff for this shit and fronting like he give a fuck about whatever, we also see his character slip out. Vlad's a fuck boy, and this one is a dad, and give me my money, and Big Papa, and I'm the Prince of Pan African.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
You're like a little kid, man.
Okay, dude, yeah, it's like, come on, man, like this dude playing games with you. But what happened is you got the gullible people that they won't donate to the schools around this country, independently owned and ran by black people. who kids is being sent, black children is being sent to these schools, and these parents is donating monies and shit like that, and they've been around for 20 plus years. We're not donating to those schools actively being ran, but we'll donate to an idea of something that makes no sense. I want y'all to donate money to me so I can purchase a school that's already high in debt. It's already in foreclosure and upside down in debt, and I want y'all to. None of the shit he says makes sense. Puff about to get a school. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, so Tom gonna reveal that story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we at the 1 hour mark. You know what I'm saying? Guest calling number 646-716-4654. Kanye West, Ray Lewis, Jim Brown. Meeting with Donald Trump. Is that Cooning or chess play? So shit, let's get to that one now. Shit, since we already we done chopped up the first a gang of topics that we want to talk about. So let's talk about that. Do you know about that story? The whole shit about the meeting?
Yeah, well, I was watching what was it? I was watching ESPN. Oh, not ESPN, like Fox Sports, one of them joints or whatever. And you know, they had Ray Lewis on you know, he was on there that day or whatever, and you know, he was speaking on meeting, going up there and meeting with Trump. And like he seemed like excited, you know, it was a sports show, so he didn't really go in depth per se, you know what I'm saying? But he was excited, you know what I'm saying? He felt like he got his point across on what he wanted to do in terms of like urban development, you know what I'm saying? You know, revamping the you know, the hoods pretty much. And so, you know, I was like, well, you know, that's cool, you know, because prior to me seeing that, you know, because you know, we all know Kanye went there. That's the biggest story out of everybody who went. You know, was Kanye, Kanye's appearance there. So you know, you was just hearing the negative vibe from the people. You know, like you know, comments, you know, Twitter and you know all the rap sites wherever. You know, people was just having a dismay of the fact that Kanye was going to go up there. So I was seeing that all throughout the day at work, you know what I'm saying, looking on the phone, whatever. So when I got home, I saw Ray Lewis on there. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, he did go to the, you know, to go see Trump or whatever. So I was, you know, I didn't know what to expect, but I was expecting something different, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the whole vibe and shit. But he was like excited or whatever. So I'm like, oh, you know, it might be something there or whatever. Then I see like later on, Jim Brown is, you know, who accompanied Ray Lewis, he's excited. And so, like, to me, it's like, you know, I want to see what really comes out of it. But what was interesting about those two, you know, Ray Lewis and Jim Brown being there, they was interested in urban development. And we spoke, you know, one of the last show we was on together, we spoke on how, like, people was making a mockery of Ben Carson getting the head of the HUD.
Pissed me off, man. That shit pissed me
off. So now, when I saw Ray Lewis giving his premise on, you know, like that's what he was trying to do, I automatically thought Ben Carson, and he was saying that inside of the meeting, it wasn't just Trump. It wasn't like they was just sitting there talking to Trump. He was like, it was a whole panel of people. He didn't say if it was his actual cabinet or whoever, but he said it's like maybe 15 or 20 people, if I'm not mistaken, that was there with him. And so I was like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? So you got Ben Carson there. Who knows? I don't know if Ben Carson was there, so I can't say that. But who's to say that they don't have something working? But the one thing that he said that really struck me was, like, he mentioned how when he was talking to Trump and his team, they was more excited because they had something in place where it could just be like, we can fund this. We don't have to actually build it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, for me, I'm looking like, why would we not want to bring things to the table? You know, of course, we can easily assume that people is cooning. Oh, it's a photo op with the president or, the president-elect. We can automatically assume that. But it's like people who have solid things that's on the table should be meeting with him, in my opinion. They should be going out there and feeling it out. And if it's a situation where it's like, is Trump as expected, then, hey, you know what I mean? It's what it's expected. But it's like to see people go in and it's in the CNN article, and I was reading about it, Jim Brown, they quoted Jim Brown saying that Trump has his admiration. Like, he's got my admiration, is what he says. And he go on to talk about.
And you know why he got his admiration? Wait. Not to cut you off, but you know why he got his admiration? Because you're able to sit down. Now you're talking. Right. You're not being panderized. Because not real quick, Smoke.
No, go ahead.
If that was Barack Obama, right? And Jim Brown them wanted to go over there, everybody would applaud that. Who is the head of HUD now? A white boy named Sean Donovan.
Oh, now.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just Googled it because I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this dude is the head. His name is Sean Donovan. He is the American government administrator and housing specialist who served as the director of the official Office of Management and Budget. Donovan is also the former United States Secretary. Oh, he's the former Secretary of HUD and Urban Development, serving from 2009 to 2014. Excuse me. Let me go find the I thought it was the recent one, but and I'm gonna find that name because that's who I want to find out who's the damn head of HUD now, because I didn't even know. I know they said they had a Latino in there at one point. Let me see who's the current one. Yeah, this is 68, 17. Yeah, they say it's the Sean Donovan dude. Yeah, I know this shit, bro. Yeah, it's the Sean Donovan dude. This dude was all in the Clinton administration. This dude was all in the Clinton shit. He's part of the Bloomberg administration. Yeah. So at the end of the day, my thing is this: Ben Carson is head of HUD. You got these brothers now coming inside here to lay they piece down and to show some type of representation for the black community. Why shoot that down and argue? Because this is my point, and I'm gonna get to the caller. When you hear, this is what I want black people to understand. When you hear white people say, "Not my president," we're going to protest Trump. Listen to the other white person that says, this country is for white people. We took back the country, and we're going to make it run to benefit white people. Meaning them white people saying that Trump's not their president, they're still going to benefit from the racist white people's structure that they're fighting for. It's your black ass who's going to be left in the cold because you don't want to put your agenda up. So let me go ahead and get to the caller. Caller 314-381. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, it's Bianchi coming from the Midwest where it's icy.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, you know what? You just really put something on the line correct about the agenda. And, in your topic of your show, you made mention of Jim Brown. I think Jim Brown is sincere in his own way, but Ray Rice putting things backwards. And it falls in line with what you just got through mentioning. He's going and saying that Trump should do things for the poor. And I'm not saying poor, directly. In other words, where is the agenda that you go to Trump for? You follow me? Instead of wanting him or the people at the top to tend to your issues at the bottom, the people at the bottom, and it's not everybody, they should have an agenda to put on the table, which is based on a plan, something that a group have put together, their ideas, their ambitions, their desires. That's the way it should work. You know, this whole thing about letting politicians tell you what you need is totally backwards. You're supposed to be telling them what you need, especially your businesses.
Right. Yeah, that's real, man.
I feel like the only thing they're supposed to do. Wait, I'm gonna just speak real quick, but let me just say this real quick. I feel like you're supposed to go to the politician, to the president. You go to Trump. Here's my agenda on the table. They're willing to cut that check for the agenda because you have the plan. You have the blueprint of what you want, how much you need to get that accomplished. Here we go. Instead of walking up there saying, well, you know, in the ghetto, what we need is this. So can y'all look out and create something to help us so we can, okay, well, then you're going to rely on somebody who don't care about you, don't know what your struggle issues are, and going to say, okay, well, hey, let's just put it towards this and see what happens next. That's it.
But you know who's supposed to carry your agenda? Your agenda is supposed to be given to your local federal representatives, especially your congressperson. They're the one who have access to the president. You know, a group of people walking off the street can't have access to the president. You have access to your congressperson. Then your senator, because there's 2 per state. Your congressperson gets a hold of the senator, and they talk on the issue. Then they go to the president. You form a committee. Then they take that committee of you with them, with your plan, and they talk to the president. That's the way they're supposed to work.
Yeah, gotta have that agenda. But I was listening to a Breakfast Club interview earlier, and they had the Locks on there. And Styles, you know, he said pretty much the same thing. You know, the caller said, you know, the government is supposed to be ran by the people. But if we don't know what to tell the government to do, it's like, you know, we just running around with our heads chopped off. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not accomplishing anything. So agenda is really what we have to be working on. Like, what if we had the president right in front of us, what would we tell him? You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't even know what to tell him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's real.
Not because we don't have an economy. If we had an economy, we'll have something to fight for, so we'll know what to say, what we need. But it's hard, in my opinion, it's hard to say, well, what do you need when we're just workers? So it's like we all got different needs and wants, you know what I'm saying? But if we have an economy, then we know what we need because we all live within this economy. So we can come together, we can pay our congressmen to get elected. So we're funding their we're not just a voting bloc, we're a money-funded voting bloc. We're a lobby group almost. So now they have a reason to push out what we're trying to say. You see what I'm saying? But we don't have an agenda. No economy. We just have a voting bloc. So then we just vote, but then the people behind the scenes, they fund our Congress people. So our agenda can't be said, so we feel defeated. But if we had this economy, and that's what I'm hoping that Ray Lewis, Jim Brown, because I did read that with Jim Brown was trying to line up his American with the Trump administration. So that's funding to me. See what he does with that would be interesting. But I just feel like we should all be thinking. Yeah,
definitely. That's real.
Yeah, I feel like
and we know what the economy should be. We talk about that all the time. That shouldn't even be an issue. But the fact is that your congressperson that you vote, you should have funded, you selected them and ran them to go represent you to bring home the bacon, as the cliche goes.
I just wonder how much would be understood if the community wasn't full of workers or unemployed. You see what I'm saying? If this was people with stake in the game, you know what I'm saying? You're property owners, so you care about what, you know what I'm saying? What if a sex store is open in this neighborhood, or if another liquor store being open? You're now going to your Congress people saying, "Hey, we don't need, that's too close to the school." But if if you're renting, you may not care. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? You don't even.
I tell you something else. These lies that they got out there talking about Russia is still in the election. Now let me ask you something.
Whoa.
Y'all went to vote, and you went in your polling place. You got your ballot, and you went to that machine, that touch machine, right? Yeah. That touch machine is not hooked up to the internet. After you get through voting, wait a minute now. After you get through voting, the lady or the man that's working in the poll take out that cartridge and put it in the machine, and that information is downloaded onto that cartridge, and she put it back in her pocket. Right. At the end of the day, they take all the cartridges to the local election commission, wherever it is, and they put it in machines that tally all the information. None of that stuff is connected to the internet. So where they get this crap at saying somebody's still in the election? That's a bunch of hogwash, man.
Yeah, she would have got less votes too. She would have had the least amount of votes if that was the case.
And people believe this stuff, man. That's the bad thing about it.
That's a good point.
Let me tell you this. The vote now is George Bush still in the election in Florida.
Well, that's another point. Because you remember back then when they were going to these these machines like they have today, everybody was against that. Why? Because there stands a chance of elections being tampered with. And lo and behold, what is the discussion today?
That's crazy.
Hey. They know they can always go back to Russia and make us back, go back, be afraid against our old enemy. And be like, oh, the Russians.
They done made up another enemy, man. And the United States talking about, they talking about how Russia is interfering with the U.S. elections. Well, let me tell y'all something. How many countries do you want me to point out to you that the U.S. has interfered with their elections, even killed the candidates? Let's talk about Patrice Lumumba. Let's talk about Haiti's election, just recent election. Let's talk about Iran with Mossadegh when he overthrew, when the Shah overthrew him. Let's talk about what they talk about doing to Mugabe when they wanted to fund that Morgan Tsvangirai to run against Mugabe. If Obama was to receive foreign money in his election, or Trump, all hell would be broke loose. But this country will fund these puppet runner-ups at the drop of a hat. We can talk about this stuff all day long, about the interference.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not the president. No, a lot of them be the senator. Because I know, John Kerry? He recently got caught up in one of them situations. I can't remember the country, but he was involved in trying to get, because a lot of those coups, you end up finding out, be funded by America. He'd be like, okay. And a lot of
the one down there in Ecuador. Hey, that's why. Look, Barack supported the person that overthrew the duly elected president in Ecuador, which stalled all of these problems that they have. Plus, they put that Fast and Furious, they're shipping guns down there. where the gangs can get them.
No.
Now they're saying that you got all these immigrants coming up here. Remember them busloads of children? They say, oh, it's just terrible down there. The gangs are fighting and the kids are getting killed. Well, hell, you created all that stuff. As a matter of fact, the Nobel Peace Prize Commission are mad as hell with themselves that they even gave Obama the Peace Prize. They talking about how can we take it back?
Yeah, because he didn't do nothing in the war. And that Fast and Furious, no man, if you don't know about that, check that out. Because that shit crazy.
What did that remind you of?
Was like, well,
what did that remind you of?
Was the Chinese Opium War. That's what that reminded me of.
No, something more close to home, man. Did y'all ever see that HBO documentary where they were talking about the guns that was put in Los Angeles? It talked about they had tractor trailer loads and they would park it on the street and they would break the seal and they would tell the gangs, hey man, that trailer over there has got guns in it. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I remember them stories with the even though I'm from the East Coast, I do remember hearing them stories of how the guns got into the West
in the hood.
Coast.
Guns in the Reds, or the Crips and the what was the other group's name? Bloods, Crips and the Bloods. Yeah. I must be getting old, man.
The train stopped. They said the trains would literally stop, and it's open, and nothing but guns inside there, and it's just like.
You're absolutely right, man.
So we understand it because and my whole thing is, when you understand their tactics, pay attention to the pattern because they don't change their tactics. The tactics stay the same. We just forget the tactic. So then they come around again and they do it again to us. But if you just follow the pattern, you can see when they're going to do it again. And we're coming up to another 20 years. Because I could break down from 1900 all the way up until now, every 20 years, they played this game with us. And we're coming up to another 20 years in 2020. And 2020 is going to be another 20 years. Because we got 4 more now. The 16 is from Bush, Obama. That's 2 that's 16. 4 more years is going to be a clean 20. That's a new generation under Trump. So then we're going to have to see what's that's about. But that's why I'm saying, like, the good thing about the Trump win is this is going to keep black people focused to keep pushing on with this pro-blackness. Because if Hillary would have won, we would have went back to sleep. We would have went back to sleep. We would have been pushing for transgender rights. You see what I'm saying? But right now, with Trump winning, we hear people, even if Trump does it, or even if what's being done is incorrect with Ray Lewis them speaking to Trump, the message is still, how can we help the black community from these people? So now we just have to figure out how to really keep it cooking. And I think we'll be able to do it for these 4 years and stay focused. Because that's the black America I remember, is where black people were standing up and doing for self-understanding. The white people do their thing, we do our thing. That's what I remember. I don't remember this black people who don't want to be black and all kind of stuff like that. That's not where I came from. I come from the 80s. So I'm like, I got to come back to the part where we wanted to get back into our business mode, money mode. We wasn't kissing white people's ass. And we was just us. You know what I'm saying? And get back into trade and stuff like that amongst our own people, because we're all over. So that's how we need to get into global economics also.
Man, we need to be there needs to be more black groups. That's another thing. When you talk, I think that word "we" is thrown around too loosely because Pookie and Ray Ray and them ain't gonna do none of that shit. You gotta have some people that's got the intelligence, the wherewithal, and the skills, and that does exist within black population. They need to sit down and have them cartels, just like Dallas, man. Remember J.R. Ewing and them?
Yeah.
I wish Empire was like that. Empire is totally off the chain. But that's how that stuff go down. When J.R. and Bobby came down, they sat at the kitchen table and they talked business. They didn't have no 3 dining room sets, no 3 kitchen sets, no 3 living room sets. Everybody stayed in that big house and they talked business. Then they went off in the morning. They came home in the afternoon, at evening, ate dinner, talked business. That's the way that stuff works out the best.
And that's what we got to do. We got to change our mind frame and our thinking and stop. Oh, I just want to have fun and live life, and not. We got to get on our hustle. But at the same time, the ones who not, I'm not even worrying about them. I'm only speaking to the ones who understand the message. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's time for. Yeah, this is our time. This is the time for the black man to stand up. This is the time for the black entrepreneurial mind frame to really be free and run wild. And the lazy ones who want to get caught up in that other stuff, hey, leave them to the wayside. Because this is going to be a good era.
But anyway, man, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and carry on.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, man.
I just wanted to drop that. So next time you hear somebody talking about the election was hacked, ask them, was your machine hooked up to the internet? I'll see you guys later, man. See you.
Man. Take care, man.
Right, man.
Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, some good calls.
That's real important, man. Because I was saying the same shit about that election shit. I was like, man, they telling y'all that the same way they told y'all Bush stole it. The same way when Nixon won, and they was like, how did Nixon win? And everybody like, I don't know anyone who. I saw that in the documentary. They was like, how did Nixon win? And all the white people was like, I don't know anybody who voted for him. I don't know how he won. That was a time. And then when Bush won, it's like, oh, he stole it. Now this time the Russians hacked it, and man, they playing the games. You know what I'm saying? Just to tone everybody down and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, another monkey wrench in the game, man.
The shit that's crazy about it is this. You got to remember that George Bush had America under what? A divided America. What happened? A war pop that united everybody. So Trump talking about, oh, he going to unite America again. Shit, that's Cold War. Word for another war, you know what I'm saying? Shit. So that's what that is. That's going to end up eliminating all them racist motherfuckers that end up signing up and going to the army like they always do. You feel what I'm saying? That's going to tone down the racial tensions here. You know what I'm saying? Send me that little weird game and shit. But my whole thing is this. At the end of the day, though, it's time to get bread. And it's time to get on that money shit because that's the era we in right now. That's the era we in right now. So the whole thing is this. Start getting your shit together now, figuring out your shit now, get your game plan together now. Don't wait until 2 years, 3 years later when people say, oh, shit, you can get money now. No, already be like, yeah, I know, nigga. Before the rush comes in, I'm telling you. I feel it just like I felt the stock market and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then when I said that shit about the stock market shit, when Barack came in and that shit was at 6,000, the market, and I was like, this is the time for black people to damn start buying up these stocks. You know what I'm saying? When the economy get better, your money get better. I said, look at the stock market like an elevator. It broke in the ghetto. So while they fixing it, all y'all need to just jump on the elevator and stay there until the fucking elevator go all the way to the top. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at me crazy, like they don't want to listen to, you know what I'm saying? And look at the market now. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand. You gotta see the pattern. You gotta understand how the shit rock. You know what I'm saying? So now check it.
Yeah, I just don't like the vibe of, you know, we automatically presuming, you know, some cooning going on. And the thing is, like, with the, you know, just, you know, we could move on in a minute, but in a sec, but like with Kanye,
No. Keep going.
It's really not there's no real rhetoric attached to the Kanye meeting. You know what I'm saying? He was there. I don't know what he talked about. I saw a tweet where he tweeted the well, I think it was a Time magazine cover with, you know, with Trump on it, and he autoed it for him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we don't know what Kanye talked about, what was his whole purpose or whatever, but, you know, you had other people that was there, you know, presenting real issues, and specifically, you know, DeRay Lewis and Jim Brown, you know, their presence there, you know what I'm saying? So, like, to me, I just hate how we just try to find the negative, the negative that we can say, oh, you know, we're not going to get into motion, we're not going to make nothing happen. It's like, what they doing that for? Instead of being like, oh, this is what it is. We got time before he actually gets in office where we might be able to, you know, talk to him. Like, I saw he tweeted something recently. I can't remember what it was. But, you know, they was making a big deal like, you know, the president, he doesn't have time to be tweeting and responding to people about blah. And I'm like, I get where it's coming from, but I'm like, if you know that, then that possibly means you can send a tweet from your phone and he responds to that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's you or somebody, a celebrity or whoever. And right now it's really the time for the celebrities, because Trump, he's a celebrity businessman. Everybody knows Trump since he came on the scene. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody knows Trump. And, you know, I always hear them speak on how he loves his celebrity, so to speak. You know, he likes bumping shoulders with the celebrities. So who better to speak our voices? A lot of these basketball players, these actors, they came from the same places we from. So, you know, it's interesting to see, like, you know, what's going to happen, whether it's going to be, like, more meetings or, you know what I'm saying, like, what's going to come of these actual meetings. But to me, we should be looking at, like, what we can do to, you know, more on the positive side of things. You know, that's really what's more troubling to me, is like we automatically assuming everybody going to talk to him is Cooning, and they turning their back on Black America. And
you know why
funny,
they Cooning? You know why they Cooning? The reason why they Cooning is because liberal white people is telling us how we need to think, instead of us looking at, okay, that's like Trump saying right now, I say fuck it. They are on some racist shit. But the racist shit that Trump's them on is like this. Listen, I understand it's a racist country, but this is what I'm going to do. Me as a white president, I'm going to be representing the white people in America. White people like, yeah, we getting our country back, white power, right? But what I'm going to do is, for black people, give me your agenda, and I will help fund that to make, you know what I'm saying, to whatever it is that you're saying you need to help rebuild your economy, I'm willing to do that too. And we like, no, you're into racial politics. And it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? It's like, I'm saying I'm going to rebuild white America, and I'm going to give you the tools, black people, to rebuild black America. Just tell me what the tools are that you need. And we got a bunch of white people on our side, because they don't want us. to rebuild our shit. So they like, oh, no, that's not fair. We don't want you to be president. And we like, yeah, we don't want to. Fuck you, Trump. It's like, all right, so y'all don't want the tools to rebuild your country. Like, I don't understand this shit. Like,
cause see, I saw.
Yo, go ahead.
I saw Mark Lamont Hill. He was on CNN. Well, I actually read the article. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look at the clip, but I was reading, what he was talking about or whatever, and he was like he's standing in opposition of specifically Jim Brown and what he was saying about Trump or whatever. So like in the article he speaks on like that he was cool. Well, to read the quote, he says, we just read the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? So this is him on CNN. So he's with your boy Don Lemon, a couple other people on the panel. So he says, so Donald, so he starts on talking about, he's talking about Donald Trump here. So he says, for Donald Trump to have gone through, to suggest that he's going through some admirable process is disturbing to me. So I don't have any admiration for Donald Trump or his process. So I guess he's talking about like him bringing the people to the table, you know what I'm saying, to speak to it, you know what I'm saying. So he goes on to say, I don't have a problem with Jim Brown saying, look, we want to do urban development, approve, we want housing, we want to make demands of you. But to say you fell in love with Donald Trump or his platform or his campaign, to me, is disturbing. Lamont Hill said Trump has a history of dangling black people around as puppets or trinkets. They've watched a career of essentially dangling black people around as almost puppets or trinkets, Lamont Hill said of the American public. That's not to suggest that Donald Trump didn't have any real black friends, he said. But when look at his political commitments and economic investments they don't suggest any kind of care for the black community. So, he's standing in, like, opposition of it. And, like, again, like, I understand the hatred for Donald Trump in a sense, you know what I'm saying? In a sense of how it's like, oh, we don't like Trump. We don't want him around. He's not my president, that whole shit. It's like, I get it. But it's like, in a sense, it's like a fear, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just perpetuating the fear of like, Trump's in office, we got to move to Canada. It's like, it's all part of that. And it's like, what's going to happen, and from how I'm seeing it, it's like, we're going to sit still where it's like, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump. And then 2 years in, we're going to be like, well, we need blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, y'all had a chance to sit down. And nobody else is coming to the table. The people I talk to, they got their little bread, but nobody else came to the board. And then it's going to be complaining for the next 6 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, while we have the opportunity, like, it's like, we can't just sit here and say, like, oh, that's not going to work, or Trump he's dangling us, or he's bullshitting us. It's like this. We got an opportunity, present our ideas. The goals still remain the same, whether they're going to help us or whether they're going to try to help improve the communities or not. We still got to do that. So why not? Because when you sit and you think about, we had a show earlier this year or whatever, so go back and you can find it. I can't remember the name. But we spoke on how the Jewish community in Brooklyn and how they had the highest rate of welfare, right? But what was they doing? Yeah. They paying rent to other Jewish homeowners. So it's like building a community off of the fucking community, off of government assistance. It's like, why we can't do that? Instead of worrying about it on a small level, like, oh, we got to make sure Shaniqua and them get $700 a month. That's cool, but let's think of it on a bigger level. You know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta go through the processes. Any opportunities that's there, we gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at it in a sense also like Trump is he's not a politician. He's not a career politician. So you never know what he's gonna. You know what I'm saying? He's a businessman. So he might be looking at the business opportunity in it. Like we could build money here. All right, cool. Let's get this guap because we gotta benefit the most out of it anyway. They gotta benefit, but why not get our piece of it? When you sit and you see other communities do the same shit, and they be able to build up their shit off of fucking government assistance. You can't think of it on a small level. Why we can't have properties and do the same thing them Jews doing? Everybody who got government says, come live over here. Pay these properties off.
Yeah. All of the economy. That's what I'm saying. The ones who got business need to talk to the ones who got business.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And everybody got to start to connect. Because we got all the pieces. It's all on the floor. We just got to connect them shit together. You know what I'm saying? Shit. At the end of the day, because shit.
That's basically it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at something. The title of it is called, it's talking about Japan, right? So they saying how they basically just marrying each other, friend and shit like that because, you know what, I can't even find it. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about this story. Because the point of the story is, but I can't even find this shit, but there was like, the point of the story is they was saying how the Japanese, they have the lowest birth rate in the world. You know what I'm saying? They got like 8.4 children being born per 1,000 inhabitants. So, for over the last 5 years and shit. So it's like they predict that the population is supposed to decrease by like 87 million by 2060 or some shit. So everybody just pretty much marrying each other real quick and shit. But the whole point of me bringing that up is there was a damn chart I thought I copied onto the page where they were showing, you know what I'm saying, who have the highest birth rates. Right. And you know what I'm saying, I ain't got to tell you who had the highest birth rate. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely all of them that, you know what I'm saying, Africa was all dark. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, pretty much everywhere else is light. But, I'm mad I ain't got the picture. Hopefully I can find it, but I'm mad I don't got the picture. But the point of even bringing that up, you know what I'm saying, is to say, yes, we are the majority of the world. You know what I'm saying? So we can lock all of this shit down. You see what I'm saying? We instead of trying to change the will, we could just, you know what I'm saying, instead of like pointing towards them trying to walk to that door to follow them, close that door and then create amongst us and leave them outside. And then when they dry up on the other side, they're going to be knocking on the door like, oh, shit, what's going on over here? Then we can charge them to come over. You see what I'm saying? That's what we got to do and shit. But it's like, today it's about economics and economy. You see what I'm saying? And if we don't have that, that's the gas. Like, this is what somebody told me. Money is the lubricant that makes the wheels turn. You see what I'm saying? Wow. That's how you have to look at money. Like it's the lubricant that makes the wheels turn. So you're not supposed to have money to be wearing it. You know what I'm saying? To be being fly, to spin it, to blow it, and all kinds of stupid shit like that. You're supposed to be using the money to keep that machine going. And then that machine now is supposed to be your thoughts and things of this nature, what you're creating to generate more money to keep this machine going. So you understand that if I'm not generating this bread, then this operation here is going to slow down. You see what I'm saying? That's how our economy should have to work. You see what I'm saying? But it's all of it just putting the strings together. We all out there. It's there. It's no longer about the building the economy, because the economy is there. We just have to intertwine it and tighten it up
and strengthen the economy. You see what I'm saying? And then when you see us do that, and you see a Ray Lewis or a Jim Brown, tell you I'm gonna keep Kanye West out, or a Jim Brown, and that pastor that was there too, go up there and speak to Trump, then you're gonna be saying to yourself, "Ooh, they there? You know they're gonna be speaking on behalf of the black economy." You see what I'm saying? Because it's like we're all a part of this. What else could you be talking about? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Trump, I just want to know, can I lead the black economy and get down with y'all shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would I expect you to be saying except you want to strengthen the economy? So it's like when I'm hearing that, you know what I'm saying, they are talking about, like they talking about over here, Jim Brown and Lewis said they talked with Trump about the new administration partnering with Brown's American Outreach Program, which aims to take life skills to young people from poor backgrounds. The full governmental involvement of President Barack Obama's signature program, My Brother's Keeper, which is designed to improve the lives of boys and young men of color, will likely come to an official end at the conclusion of his presidency. Damn. Brown, but I never understood that Brother's Keeper thing. Like I said, we don't need fucking rubs on our backs and you know what I'm saying, and no, we need from the womb, we need business talk. We need really the understanding of what life is, this money shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what the hustle is. You know what I'm saying? Like really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Stop the coddling. Stop the sisterifying, you know what I'm saying, and the punkifying of these kids and these boys. You know what I'm saying? Like they supposed to be out here, you know what I'm saying? Their mind's supposed to be racing. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like, okay, understanding how life works. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to always think economics. We got to always think economy. We got to always believe that a united us is a stronger us. And a divided us, everybody, all these other nations is going to conquer us. And if we don't want black people, if we don't want, and I ain't talking to the mulattoes and the people that don't, they're unsure if they black and all kind of weird shit like that. I'm not talking to y'all. If you black, if you know you black, if you standing on black, that's who I'm talking to. You see what I'm saying? Not nobody who's unsure. You see what I'm saying? If you understand that a united us, supporting us, putting your money in that black bank, doing the research, looking for the black farmers in your state, poultry farms in your state, you know what I'm saying? Fishing farms, if you have that, or whatever the luxury is, whatever, you know, where you at in your state, where you can find a black person in there and use that to generate money and things of this nature. If we don't support each other and do what we have to do so we can pass something on to the next generation, which we call our children, then the other nations, the Asians, the Mexicans, the white, the homosexuals, and East Indians and Arabs and whatnot, they then will attack us. That's how the gay stuff get into your schools. That's how the Mexicans start shooting up your community. That's how the Arabs start buying up all of the buildings and shit in your neighborhood, and the Chinese buying up everything because you're broken and scattered. We don't all have to be kumbaya.
We just all have to come together supporting the black dollar. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, man. We got like 10 minutes left. One thing I wanted to mention before we go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw something. They was mentioning Nas and all his investments, like how he invests in a lot of tech companies or whatever. And they had a story on him, how he, pretty much how he doing his thing in that front. You know what I'm saying? So he investing while Jay-Z making songs about Tom Ford. But I looked, you know what I'm saying? I looked at this shit, but they had mentioned his little I don't want to say little, but his investment group, and so it's like Queensbridge Venture Partners. So I looked up their site or whatever, and they got the strategy on there, their track record. So it was founded in 2014. But when you go under the the companies that they invest in, they have a page where they have all their companies that they invest in. It's mad companies on here. It's companies I never heard of. Storefront, Pro.com, SeatGeek, I never heard of that. But they have a company, Lyft. I know you heard of Lyft. The other company, the cab company. Yeah, the other Uber. The next in line of Uber. You know what I'm saying? General Assembly. A bunch of stuff on here. Auditfile.com, Battlefy, FanDuel. We've heard of FanDuel. You watch the sports.
I heard of FanDuel. But look, let me tell you what's funny about all of that, right? I was telling that to my lady, right? I was like, we were talking about something. I can't remember what we were talking about, but all I remember saying to her was, there's a lot of money out here. There's a lot of money. It's just that people don't know how to get the money. But there's a lot of money out here. That's why people always see people do shit and then they start to hate because they don't understand how to get the money. So you'll see somebody and they got a YouTube video with them playing with their I was about to say playing with their cat, but then I didn't want to do that innuendo. But, playing with their cat.
I got you.
You know, on YouTube,
the cucumber cats with the cat, and they put the cucumber.
Yeah, some weird shit. I'm just saying that.
I see that.
Nah, I didn't see it. I'm just saying, like, if it's some little cutesy shit on YouTube and then they get like 1 million views and shit and the person is getting up, and people start to hate. They start to hate because they don't understand what did you do to get there, because I'm trying that and I can't get there. But the whole thing is hustle. If you trying something that shit ain't working, figure out what it is that you're not doing to make it work, or maybe the thing is you have to do something else and then go back to that to make it work. You know what I'm saying? But it's like sometimes we get so focused looking at everybody else's stuff that we think we're supposed to do that, and that's how we do white America. We look at white America and say, well, I don't want to leave white America and then come back to black America because black America don't have shit. We don't got no malls. We ain't got no corner stores. We ain't got no grocery stores. We ain't got that in black America. But guess what? That's why it's even better to come back. Because now you can come back with your bread and you can be the man in black America now. You see what I'm saying? Because now you can have a sister now come out of nowhere making clothes, and now everybody's saying her name. You know what I'm saying? And then they said, you find out, I started making clothes 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 5 years later, look, Carol's daughter or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to go out there, you know what I'm saying, and try it. Do the research. Start slow. Build your foundation. Don't try to jump out there and say, I'm going to go in Shark Tank.
I need to get invested and funded so I can stop thinking like that. Just like we were talking about earlier, right, Simone? Stop thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers sit over there, make one brownie, and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have brownies all across America." Listen, make a brownie man. You know what I'm saying? Like, sell a couple in your hometown.
It's like think big, but think in steps. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta get. You gotta make $1 before you make 5. You gotta make, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get there, but you gotta start from the ground floor. You know what I'm saying? We live in that society, that microwave society. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you know, we want that shit right away. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, we start with no resources, so it's not gonna be right away. We gotta slowly build and change the mind frames and you know, start to really take shit seriously, but it ain't gonna be overnight.
And let me tell you,
I think a lot of times we be wanting that, you know, like the lottery. Like, yo, play this ticket, or you win and change your life, it's over with. It's like, nah, it's not that simple, you know what I'm saying?
See, my whole thing is, it's like, that grind, that all of that is that's the sweet part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Like who the hell want it quick anyway? You know what I'm saying? It's like you should want to go out there and grind, because guess what? If you ever fall, you know how to get back up. You see what I'm saying? I've always been the type of person where I never wanted to be the person who had a whole lot and then lost it later down the line, and I don't know how to get it back. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather be the person who know how to get it, but they ain't never get it to that level yet, but knows how to get it, though. You see what I'm saying? Because that's nothing but concentration and hard work right there. You know what I'm saying? And perseverance. And that'll get you to that level. You see what I'm saying? But to be at that level and then fall and then can't get there again, you don't know. All I know is basketball. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know.
But one thing I did want to mention was I saw it was a YouTube person, I forget their name, and she was giving the breakdown on Nas and, you know, all his different investments. She went in depth in it, and I forget her name. But inside the comment, they was talking about another company that they invest in, the you know, Queensbridge joint, that they invest in is a company called Dropbox. Like you drop it on a box. And that company, they're like a storage company where you can buy you know, you can buy the spot online, like a service, and you can like store pictures, any type of data, where, you know, you could put it online and store it there. But then, you know, if you in another country, you can pull it up and get it, or somebody can get the code to get certain image, you know, certain files or whatever. So it's like one of those type services. But somebody in the comments was like, they heard that company is possibly going public soon. So I didn't research that part of it. I just saw this earlier today. So that would be an opportunity for, you know, anybody who's listening to take a look at that company, Dropbox, DROP Box. I want to say the website is the same site. I had it pulled up earlier. But, yeah, you know, the website is dropbox.com. And just go check it out, you know what I mean? Just read up on it or whatever, and, you know, see what you can find in the investment section. Like, you know, I didn't go into the research on it, so maybe next day or two I'll take a look at it and see, you know, if I can find some news on that investment or whatever. But, you know, that's always a lead right there to pay attention to, you know what I'm saying? Especially talking about, you know, making money on the making money side of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The thing, my whole thing with that is, it's like,
that's the reason why you're supposed to always have cash on reserve. That's why you're not supposed to look at this money like, oh shit, I got $100. You go ahead and blow this shit or something. No, nigga, that's supposed to be, that's the lubrication that keeps the wheels turning. If you have no more dollars, that machine stops. You see what I'm saying? It's like we gotta respect that bread. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with a lot of these. Not even these. That's the problem with black people, period, because we follow that same old slave spending pattern, where we work all day for massa, we get paid, we go buy liquor, we go and dance and party on the weekend, you know what I'm saying, and buy clothes and shit, and you know what I'm saying, and have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. And that's what we're doing now. Same shit. So it's like, because we never came out of that pattern, we then got used to that. You see what I'm saying? To just doing that same thing, and we never got out of that shit. And that's what we got to get out of that. We have to look at money as what it is. Like, really, you're supposed to be able to just to throw money in a jar in a corner somewhere. Straight up, you know what I'm saying? And that should just accumulate. Straight up. Because it's, at the end of the day, if you think about it, you're really not supposed to be using it to spend. It's supposed to be used for private or public debt. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So when you want something, you put yourself in debt. And how you get out is you pay with the money. You see what I'm saying? That's how that money should work. But what happens with us is we want to start to use it to buy shit. Because it's the difference if you're buying food, shelter, clothes, you know what I'm saying, little entertainment or something like that, you know what I'm saying, whatever like that. But when you're spending all your shit on entertainment and bills and have nothing to keep the wheels rolling, that's where you're hustling backwards. You're hustling backwards. And I seen that they were talking about how Janet Yellen, she about to raise the interest rates and shit like that for next, it's gonna be now she's gonna do it, but it's gonna be another one in 2017 or some shit like that, right? A couple of them in 2017, I think. But the point is, I was reading somewhere where they was talking about how the interest rate shit don't affect your saving account. It don't affect your CD. Well, if you're locked in, it really won't. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know. But, you got little ways you can get around that or whatever. But if it does increase, then it will affect it, but not by much. But the interest rate increasing really affects the banks now loaning you money so they can make more bread off you. You see what I'm saying? Right. That's how that shit's working.
All right, interest rate.
So that's what I'm like. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, like, when it gets to houses, now you want to get a house, well, guess what? The interest rate is up. It's no longer low and at 3 and 4% anymore. You see what I'm saying? Now you're going to have to get them joints at 7 and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. That's what Trump trying to get that shit back where, nigga, I'm trying to get bread again. You got this shit too low next to the goddamn poor. Like, one of these guys will figure it out and jump on board. Like, fly this plane up. You know what I'm saying? Shit the hell's going on? And that's what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what was really going on like that. So it's like for us as black people, what we need to be doing is setting ourselves up and applying ourselves so we can do what we got to do. I was just reading one of them comments and shit about the whole Jim Brown and stuff like that and Kanye West stuff. So I read a part. So I just told you that Jim Brown said that they're looking for a partnership with the administration and where I can, right? So here goes Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson and other
Right, so they go, this all comes as civil rights leaders have been asking for a meeting with Trump to discuss his upcoming administration position on issues like housing and urban renewal. Oh, now everybody interested in housing and urban renewal, right? The Reverend Jesse Jackson, other civil rights leader, last week wrote Trump to ask for a meeting to discuss urban policies and to hold a White House conference on violence. It was not immediately known whether Trump would be meeting with the civil rights leaders. But it's funny because it's like you're asking to have discussions about urban policies. You see what I'm saying? Instead of coming with your own agenda like everybody else do. That's the problem.
Go to Ben Carson. Talk to Ben Carson, man. Straight up. Like, you ain't got to talk to Trump right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's time winding down. You know what I'm saying? What is it, the 19th that he get inaugurated? I mean, they make it official. What is it, the 19th? The 20th?
The 20th.
Yeah, it's like, that was the door for them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get your plan of action together. That shit to Ben Carson, man. But yeah, it's interesting to see if we're gonna take the the meetings or not. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what it is. But we know how messy Jesse is. It's like, what you going there for? That's what the photo op is at. Come on, man. Fuck that.
Nah, see, and I hope not. I hope he stay out because my whole thing is this, man. I'm tired of them civil rights people, man. Tired of them. Tired. I don't want you to talk to us no more. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Me, I look at myself like that. I got my boys. I'm raising them up the way I'm raising them up. So they my soldiers that I'm going to have out there in the front line. You see what I'm saying? Where they're going to be getting into this game. You see what I'm saying? I'm laying the foundation.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. I'm working towards that foundation, so I have something to pass on and say, all right, take this further. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing because the economy's here. We just got to put it all together. So it's all together. That's it. But shit, man. So we're going to shoot it out, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the Facebook in Black America, the Twitter in Black America 7, the YouTube page, which is in Black America Radio on YouTube. Subscribe. And we'll be back Saturday, maybe. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Anything you want to leave with, Smoke?
Yo, invest. Check that Dropbox out. Get it popping, man. Another week in the building.
Yeah, straight up. Invest, stack your bread up. This is the year for the man to stand up, the entrepreneurial mind to flourish. You know what I'm saying? That go-getter. You know what I'm saying? That money shit. That's what it's all about because it's about economics and it's about building an economy.
Yeah,
no more
no time for it.
No
Robin James, man. I don't want to see no Robin James on niggas' ass. No time for it, Shades, none of that shit. Cut that shit out, man.
Yeah. We're not supporting. We're not supporting none of that stuff no more. And that means that we need to start to create our own clothing lines. So, you know what I'm saying, you're going to hear more about that soon in the future, hopefully, where we will be promoting some of these nice black clothing lines coming out where we can have black people wearing pants and not these gay zipper shits that they got niggas wearing nowadays. But outside of that, like always, peace.
I'm in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say,